win, Cleveland or New England?
Uh, I can explain. I can explain. Dan, I'm gonna have to say that I've changed my thinking on the New England
Ah,
Patriots. I changed
oh,
my thinking on the New England
okay,
Patriots.
go on. Go on, I'm listening.
I have to say that I can't deny it. The defense is real. Top five in points allowed, top 10 in yards allowed. I believe in them. Their experience, the way they're exceptionally coached. We know Bill Belichick. We know he knows a thing or two as a two-time Super Bowl champion, as a defensive coordinator. We know what he brings to the table. Offensively, they're run-centric with Harris and this kid, Stevenson, who was impressive last week as far as I was concerned, with Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, and those boys, with Mac Jones being a national champion out of Alabama. Okay, he comes to the NFL. Perfect system for him to be in. I'm just looking at them right now, and then I look at Cleveland. And I say to myself, yeah, OBJ is gone, and you're supposed to be better without him. But I'm just looking at their schedule, Dan, and I say, excuse me, New England. Yeah, you got a bye week the following week because you're going up against the Detroit Lions. But then after that, we're talking about Baltimore, not once, but twice. Okay, Baltimore, then a bye week, then Baltimore again, then the Raiders, then Green Bay, then Pittsburgh. Damn it, Cleveland could lose about 4 of those games, crying out loud, if not all of them. So I just look at it from that perspective. I lean on the expertise of Bill Belichick, the way that he's got this defense rolling, how opportunistic they are. And I just say to myself, damn, Dan Orlovsky was right. Because I didn't think they'd win the last week. I thought they would.
Whoa. Can you, hold on, I got my phone. Can you say that again, Steve? I just want to record it.
Dan Orlovsky was right weeks ago when he talked about the New England Patriots. He was right.
Thank you.
Because I didn't believe they would beat the Chargers, but they beat the Chargers. I knew that they would beat Carolina. I knew they would beat the Jets, but I didn't think that they would beat the Chargers. So they've won 3 straight now, and I'm looking at the rest of their schedule, and there's some winnable games on this. I got to go, if I have to pick between Cleveland and New England, I got to go with New England. And by the way, I think New England will win this week at home.
I love it. My day is now made. I'm good for the rest of the show. I think this weekend's game is huge for both teams. I would agree with that. If I had to pick the difference or between one of these teams and who I think can make more noise in the playoffs, I would take the Cleveland Browns still. This is still the team that was basically one play away from the AFC title game last year. The Chad Henne run by Kansas City and then the 4th and 1 throw to Tyreek Hill. And the Cleveland Browns are 3rd in the NFL when it comes to minutes that they have led, right? That's something I look at is how good of a football team are you? How many minutes have you led in the totality of this football season? They've led for 300 minutes this year, okay? There's only 2 teams who have led for more minutes, the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals. Those teams are combined like 13-2 or something like that. The Browns are better than their record has been. That's why I said a month ago they're the most disappointing team in football. I want to see who they are this year without Odell Beckham Jr. Because while I love the Patriots, and I thought the Patriots would be a playoff team a month ago, I do think they cap talent-wise at some point this year. And I think they'll get in, but I think they cap. While their defense is great, if they don't add an Odell Beckham Jr., I think their offense can just be good right now. But the talent on Cleveland is indisputable. If they stay healthy on defense and they play the way that they have in the past without Odell, this is a team that I believe can go to the AFC title game. Absolutely, unequivocally. Because I think their coach is better. I think their quarterback is better. I think that their offensive line is one of the best in the NFL. They're doing all this without Kareem Hunt. If they get healthy on the back end, they are exponentially.
What do you mean their coach is better? What do you mean by that? Better
without
than what?
Odell Beckham Jr. Without Odell Beckham Jr. I ain't saying he's better than Bill.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was better than Belichick. I was getting ready to say you need to be drug tested immediately. But go ahead.
So I think that, if I had to pick which team could make more noise in the playoffs, it would be Cleveland because of their talent.
Okay, and I'm saying to you, I think New England has a better chance of making the playoffs than Cleveland. That's my issue. That's my issue. I don't disagree with you once they get there because of their running game. If Chubb and Hunt are healthy, okay, you know what? You're damn right you got a chance if you Cleveland. But I will tell you this. I don't know if they're going to get there. When I look at the path to the postseason, it seems a bit more difficult for Cleveland than it will be. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for New England, but it definitely seems more difficult for Cleveland playing in the AFC North with Baltimore, with Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh in the same division. I think it's going to be a bit difficult. Whereas you're New England, really the team that you got to concern yourself with is Buffalo, and that's about all.
I would say this. I think Cleveland and New England both get in, okay? The reason why I think Cleveland and New England both get in is I take Cleveland over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they get in instead of your team. And then I say I would take the New England Patriots over the Los Angeles Chargers. And so while I think this game is intriguing because it's going to have a huge impact on, the numbers of them getting in, I think both of them are playoff football teams. I want to see who Cleveland is without Odell Beckham Jr. I think they both can get in because I take them outside of the teams or over the teams in Pittsburgh and the Chargers.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.